Hi, I'm Michelle Sterling for Friends of Science Society. Remember how hard the Canadian Climate Institute worked to make everybody believe that the industrial price on carbon is just the cost of one Timbit for every barrel of oil produced? Sounds like nothing, right? Of course, we produce millions of barrels of oil, and the industrial carbon tax isn't only on the oil and gas industry, it's on every industry. But then you know what happened after this idea of a Timbit carbon tax got stuck in everybody's brain? What did they start doing? They raised the price of the industrial carbon tax 6.5 times. That's like almost a box of Timbits right there.
In fact, what we did is we strengthened the industrial carbon price. If we look at where we were at in November, when we signed the initial MOU, the credit price in Alberta was trading around $20, which is way lower than what the headline price was. What we've set up today is actually an effective industrial carbon price that is about 6 times stronger than that. And if you go even further than that, what the Prime Minister described is there's skin in the game for this. There are actually financial mechanisms that are backed by Alberta and by the federal government to make sure that we actually do have a guarantee that the price is as it is stated in the agreement.
And they have a sliding scale where they're going to be adding more Timbits and more Timbits to the carbon tax, right? So now they've also made a deal that yes, the Pathways Oil Sands Alliance carbon capture and storage project is going ahead. It used to cost somewhere around $16 billion. Now they think it'll cost between $20 to $30 billion, and it's only going to capture about half of the carbon dioxide that was originally forecast to capture. Now, the only reason that the Prime Minister is so keen on this is that this is what's called a permanent carbon removal in the world of carbon trading. And these are very high value carbon offsets, carbon credits. So carbon traders can make a lot of money on them. But ultimately, all these Timbits in taxes are going to fall on you, the taxpayer. Because the whole project's going to be funded with investment tax credits, which means that's money that won't go into the tax pool, and various kinds of subsidies. So you know what? It looks to me like this industrial carbon tax is no longer a Timbit. It looks to me like it's a soccer ball. And it's going to be really burdensome. It's not going to be a fun and games thing anymore. It's going to be very burdensome for every industry in Canada and every Canadian consumer and taxpayer. And you know what? It's not going to save the planet. As you may have heard in some of our other videos, the climate catastrophe scenario called RCP 8.5 or SSP 8.5 has officially been deemed to be implausible. And that's the climate catastrophe scenario that's been driving net zero. So net zero is dead, and we should get rid of all these crazy taxes that do zero for the environment and just destroy the Canadian economy. For Friends of Science Society, I'm Michelle Sterling.